Laura's first time ever hearing that, and Ray too.
Yeah,
Well,
live.
at least live.
At least
yeah.
live, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to Games Overboard. I'm PJ.
I'm Shanna.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Laura.
We do have a special guest tonight, and that is our friend Ashley, and a pug that will not be quiet.
On cue.
She's back. If you thought you could escape her from the well house exorcism,
She came onto a different
she's
podcast.
back. She found you.
She's haunting us everywhere.
Yeah. So if you hear like the snoring of an 80-year-old man, it's
actually our
pug.
dog.
It's a good thing
Perfectly
she's cute.
healthy.
Yep. Yep. She's just
That's
how
just her
she
face.
is. Just how she breathes.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
So our last episode, Dan and I did pretty intense game. We're taking it to a much lighter route today with 2 party games, both made by the same artists, which is Cyanide and Happiness.
Woo! My fave.
I'm feeling happy.
Hopefully not
Not
cyanide.
cyanide.
That's why I went with the happy part.
Yeah. So we did. We are talking about Joking Hazard and Trial by Trolley. Today.
Fantastic games.
They're so much fun. Great to play with like a group of friends. It's perfect.
Yep.
We should call this part 1 because we have so many card games like
We
this.
have a lot of party games we'll be
Yes.
talking about.
It's so good with libations.
That does not hurt.
It does not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
This is for people under 21, Ray.
Oh.
No, it's not. We talk about
It's good with or without libations.
about libations on this pod all the time. Let's not beat around the bush
I
here.
mean, Lola hasn't
There
had
are no
any
bushes
libations.
down here.
Wait. Okay.
They're Easter trees. Okay. Anyways,
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
It's right there. No Hanukkah bushes either.
Ray. Let's just move on from that one.
I'm just shaking my head and being like, oh my god. Okay, moving on.
I was just thinking of the name that Dee Dee gave the Borg in our last D&D session. Sorry.
Yep. So I want to preface this by saying I love these games. I mean, I paid money for these games, obviously, but I will
Kickstarter paid money.
I kickstarted the Trial by Trolley, yeah. But I will be playing the voice of Devil's Advocate for this pod because 95% of hobby board gamers hate these games.
What? Really?
Yeah, and
It's not a board game.
Well, no, it's not that at all. It's games like this, like Cards Against Humanity, Joking Hazard,
Because-
games where there is a judge, and games where you cannot be creative. Like the cards are creative for you, and you're just picking things that are funny
Oh, come
and putting
on.
the yeah,
Ow.
yeah.
Can
So-
you hear my eyes rolling? Ow. Ah, whatever.
So
Either way.
when we get to it, I will be playing the role of Devil's Advocate, but I wanted to preface by saying like these games are great as long as you take them at face value, and especially the first several playthroughs when the cards are new. Then like that's when these games shine the most for sure. Mm-hmm. And that's another problem with the hobby board game is the replayability unless you buy lots and lots of expansions like. Once you see the card 5, 6, 10 times, like it loses that funny factor.
I don't think it does at all.
Me neither.
I enjoy it.
Plus, you can put it into different combinations.
Exactly.
So, like,
Yeah.
you really
Think
make
about
it
how many
fresh.
cards you have in there, how many different combinations you can make. Like, it really is almost limitless, you know?
Yeah.
Sure, there's the drugs card that we all see and the funny face card that you can't see on a podcast. Like, you know those cards are in there, but
Yeah.
just tonight, I saw one when I was shuffling the cards, and I was like, whoa, I have never seen that one before.
But anyways, I'll be playing that role
Okay.
for the pod today.
Well, we'll break you down.
But the way both of these games, well, let's start with Joking Hazard. Let's do it in order that we played it, and we'll talk about each game individually, and then maybe we'll compare them a little bit at the end. Joking Hazard. If you've played Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity or things like that, it's a very similar game where one person's the judge. There are if you've read Cyanide and Happiness, you know it is a 3-panel comic. And so the judge lays out 2 of the panels, one at random, one by choice, and then everyone else has to pick the 3rd panel to play onto the table. And then the judge picks their favorite one, and then the judge moves to the next person around the table, and you repeat.
Yeah, the only time it changes is if the judge on random pulls out a card that has a red edge, which is an end card. And I kind of think of it as like a haiku almost from the Cards Against Humanity, where you're playing 2 cards instead of 1. So the judge has to judge off of 2 cards that are played instead of 1.
Yeah.
So that's the only change really from that.
Instead of the players playing the punchline, the players are playing the lead up.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I personally love this game. I think it's hilarious, and I do think that there's a ton of replayability because again, as you said, Ashley, there's so many different cards that the interchangeability really makes each game unique.
I think more so than Cards Against Humanity.
I agree. And I think most importantly, you're playing to the judge.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and I think that's true for both of the games that we played.
Any game with a judge, you're metagaming the whole time.
Yes. So the more you know each other, the more you have it in a little bit in the bag, or at least you think you might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like something that came up a couple times was we were able to take our cards that we had separated out and like it fit within the comic. Like it just kind of extended out and continued.
Yeah,
the
so
story.
Because
Yeah.
our humor is
It's really
so
fun.
similar. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, that all of the cards just kind of created an extended panel.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 3-panel, it was like a
7 or
5
8,
panel,
yeah.
Even though
7, 8
that's
panel.
not like a core part of the game, it's still so much fun to play that out.
Yes, and
Definitely.
to see it happen. Wait, what are you saying? Definitely. You're supposed to be the devil's advocate here.
When I need to be.
Get negative.
Yeah, what's your negative take on all this?
My negative take would be that, once you know what the judge's favorite cards are, and if you have that card, you're going to play that card every time.
But then it'll get boring. So then the
Exactly,
judge will get bored.
which is
and then
why-
they want to choose a different card.
Well, that's why they just stop playing the game, because
I mean-
it gets boring then.
But let me just say, I'm married here to Ray. I've been for 18 years, but he does not. He almost never picks my card. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Like that's not like a
Just
guarantee.
because I don't want to give you the
Oh,
point.
please. But it's not like I know him that well or what his mindset is that moment. So yeah, I mean like you are playing
Yeah.
to the judge, but it's so unexpected and you don't really know what's going to tickle their fancy in that moment.
There is that.
Yeah.
I just like that it's the same 2 characters over and over again, but there's just so many different combinations that you can make.
Yeah.
And there's the randos where it's like, I'm a woman. And you're like, oh my, that's a
Yeah.
change. So I just like that the random punchlines are perfect. And it makes, because again, if it's a party game, you hang out with your friends, you're eating snacks, you're drinking Kool-Aid, but you're drinking good Kool-Aid.
Not the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Not the No, that wasn't even Kool-Aid.
It's Flavor Aid.
That's right. It was cheapo stuff. So, I feel like it's fun because you know how it's easy to pick up the game. It's easy to play the game. And it's just a lot of fun because the punchlines can all be different.
That being said, if you have delicate sensibilities, this very well might not be option one.
Yeah.
You
For
don't want to
you?
play this with the in-laws that are really, fancy.
Yeah,
and hoity-toity.
first time meeting your significant other's parents, maybe not.
Colleagues,
First time
coworkers.
meeting anyone,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
break this game out, because you don't know how they're going to react.
Well, where you break it out and you go, oh, I guess you can't be friends with me anymore. Okay, bye.
Yeah, there's that too. It could be a little litmus test to see
Yeah.
if they fit with the group.
Because some of those cards.
And if you don't,
They're
I mean,
risque,
part of-
Yeah.
to say the least. Yeah, these are not cards to play with your in-laws, your coworkers.
I mean, we're comparing it to Cards Against Humanity, so
Yeah.
it's not safe for work.
Yeah, not safe for work at all. Agreed.
So what are the cons of this game, then?
Okay.
Apart
Jeez.
from what you already said.
So, yeah, the cons, the replayability can get stale. As hobby gamers would say, it limits your creativity because, you're not being funny, you're just picking a funny card. Where a game like Snake Oil or Just One or Code Names, all party games, but you are being a lot more creative and you feel really good when you do something that's super creative and and someone gets a clue because of something you did rather than
Well, then I guess I'm
rather
stupid.
than I played a
because
funny card.
I'm terrible at snake oil, but I'm really good at Joking Hazard.
See, and I would argue against that because I do think in Joking Hazard, you can still. I don't know. I think that it is still creative because you're still choosing from among these cards.
And there's a
like,
satisfaction, I
there
would
is.
say, for
Oh,
when
yes.
somebody picks your card.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I
is.
didn't know that
absolutely.
satisfaction that well this last time, but
I never do.
I-
never do in this game.
Well, and I think that's fun, like going off the beaten track. Like, for example, I forget who the judge was. I think it was you, PJ. And the one card was the guy saying, I have cancer. And then, you know, or no, sorry, no, I got to, I'm cancer free. That's what it was. I'm cancer free. And I played the card, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. And because it was so completely random based on what everyone else played, like I won,
Yeah.
you know? So I think
Right.
there's that, like, that fun of, like, kind of like being evil, but like having fun while being terrible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just playing something completely unexpected.
Or
Yeah.
the even the card that you had played, Shanna, where it was very like it said "ha," and then the second card was "agreed," and it was just like these random words, you know, and like yeah, and it
well,
just,
sometimes you have to work. Well, I mean, that's the nature
What's
of the
in your
game. You
hand,
have
yeah.
to work
Right.
with what you got.
right, and you just make it funny because, and that's where the creativity comes in.
Well,
And,
and I have to say too, added to that, like you only hold 7 cards.
Yeah.
Whereas like with Cards Against Humanity, you're holding 10, right?
10. Snake oil it's an even number. I think it's also 10.
I like the 7 versus 10 because there's less to hold, so it's less to worry about. And I feel like when you're forced to have less cards, you're going to be more creative because you only have those cards in your hand.
I mean, and ultimately, I'm not gonna lie. Every single round, I'm going through my 7 cards and I'm chuckling. At like at least 3 of the cards, being like, "Oh, that could work. That could work. Oh, that's funny. You know, whatever." And that's, I think, the beauty of the game, and maybe the creativity of the game is that it's so funny, and that you are looking at this with such humor, and in the anticipation that other people are going to find it as humorous as you do.
And
Yeah.
what a pro for me too is, you know, we've discussed a lot on our podcast. I absolutely hate board games that take forever to set up.
Right.
And so, you know, we had done a discussion about Barren Park, which I love that game, but the setup, I've never had to set it up myself, which is lovely. It's always PJ's job. But like the idea of having to set up an intricate board game with a whole bunch of friends around the table is just so much for me. You just pull out a box, hand people some cards, and off you go. It is not time
Yep.
intensive. It is not like when you have food on your table, it's not going to take up a lot of space. You know, I like that.
Ready to roll.
That's
Yep.
the beauty of card games, because if it falls flat, you just pile all back up
Yep.
into a deck and pack it away.
Move to
Get
the
someone
next
else on,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just like during each round, we all just laughed at everything. So
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just so light and fun, and that's just so important. So it was really great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say, like, this game, and I already mentioned it too, is like, it's more enjoyable than Cards Against Humanity. Like, Cards Against Humanity, I have a hard time playing now, because, like, I do find myself, like, forcing laughter just to, like, for the first couple rounds to get into the spirit of the game and everything, and because I'm like, yeah, it's this card again, you know, and, like, especially the questions that the judge, like, those cards, you know, the cards that you're actually holding that you play, like, those are hilarious, but the prompts you get to answer, like, I'm like, it's this one again, you know?
I know exactly what the best card for this is.
Yeah, and I don't have it, you know,
Yeah.
or I do, so this is what I'm gonna play.
Yep.
Where this game is there's so much more variation to it.
I
and
agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah. It's, like Shanna said, like, you can make it so much more random. And it still works.
Well, and I don't really want to play Cards Against Humanity like ever because we played it so many times with my dad. And like for me, like that,
Oh, yeah.
you can make those individual cards. You know, like you can put words on there. So for us, it's just like that was the game we played at least twice when he was up. You know, and of course he's passed away. So like for me, it's just hard to pull that that card game out. I almost said board game, but
Yeah,
that
it's
card
a
game out.
game. Yeah.
So because like, there's so many cards in there, like, you know, he wrote stuff or we wrote stuff for him, and it's just like, and it's specific jokes for our family. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. It just changes the memory of the game.
Although we have a couple good memories from that one though.
Sure.
Some great memories.
Which
from
we're
that
not
one.
going to share on the podcast.
How about good memories from Joking Hazard? So we talked about what works and what doesn't work really already. So, like, good memories, funny
Man.
combinations. Can you think of any? I have to think. Like, I know there were some winners. I just can't remember.
Just none that I'm willing to share, like in a podcast, because I think that would be such a bad reflection of me as a person.
I think for me, and Ashley, you already kind of talked about this, but just the way that, like, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us playing, and so of course you had the one judge, but then the 4 cards would. So you had the 2 setup cards, but then the 4 additional cards, the way they would create an entire length of panel was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That to me was great.
Those are my favorite times when it makes like this huge story.
Yes.
I think my favorite story actually was pretty recent. We played this with Angie because, Dan's girlfriend. And so we had her play it. And she has a very similar mentality to the 4 of us, So I should say like to all of us at this table. So it was just funny watching her play because she started like, I don't want to say getting nervous because she understands PJ and Dan and their relationship, which is very weird. But she's like, seriously?
Blue shirt.
Yeah. She's like, you're seriously choosing him again? And like, or there'd be like an in-joke that like she and I did not get. And so I felt that connection with her because PJ would go, you played this, Dan, didn't you? And Dan goes, you're darn right I did. Yeah, you win, Dan. Or like vice versa. You played this, PJ, didn't you? You're darn right I did, Dan. And so it's like, and they haven't really played this game together with Angie before, but they have so many in-jokes just from their entire lives that whatever they played was just hilarious, almost like they're an old married couple. And so for me, it was more just watching Angie's face going like, she's like, I'm losing. I'm like, yeah, because we don't have that connection, Angie. We'll just, you and me will play together. They're playing together. It's okay. That's why I need you here. I need you here. So now it's kind of nice. They're doing a podcast the other night, and we were watching a video together. We're hanging out, So I think for me more was just watching her kind of just break down because she was watching these 2 boys have fun together.
Anyways, back to Joking Hazard. Does anyone have anything else they want to add before we talk about Trial by Trolley?
Well, we always discuss like the makeup of it. The cards are sturdy, so I feel like in terms of like the cards, we've used them many times. The box has held up nicely too.
I love, the box is nice and durable. Definitely made for tossing into a backpack and surviving a trip.
Very thick cardboard.
Yeah.
I love the instructions because, like, again, you have to know the creators of Cyanide and Happiness. Like, they really thought about, like, placement of people's faces. Yeah. So when you open the box, the instructions are on top, and it's this creepy smiley face looking at you.
As soon as you open the box.
I appreciate that. Just a creepy face smiling at you. Like, I look at that. It's hilarious. And the
as I lost all the cards.
He grabs it all. Fumble. I also like that the instructions are very straightforward.
The only card that landed face up. I blame God for this.
Oh, wow.
Keep that aside. You need a
That's a
picture of
sign.
that, and you need a picture of the smiley face.
Yeah.
You have to.
But I do like how sturdy the box is. I like the instructions, just because they're just so straightforward. It's just a little roadmap. It's like, do this first, then this, and then you win. Like, it's just, I like how simplistic it is. And as PJ likes to mention, texture. There's a texture to the cards. They're easier to grab because of that texture.
Yeah.
I never paid attention to it until PJ with this podcast.
I actually do. I do. I feel like these cards are, it's like durable too, and I really do.
It's a good card stock.
Yeah. Do take notice of that.
I
Especially
never
because this
did.
is, well, I mean, like, I do feel like, I was just going to say, this is very much a more adult-oriented game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't notice, like, card quality until you play a game with really cheap cards. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I see. You didn't spend a lot of money on this game, did you?
That's very loud and obnoxious. Yeah. Anywho, so I just want to toss that in really fast, just because we could. You and your colors and your texturing and...
It's important. Especially when it's like, what, $25 for a box of paper?
Yeah.
Essentially. You want it to be high quality paper.
Hilarious.
Hilarious paper, yeah.
Yeah, worth it. Are there expansions to Joking Hazard?
There are a couple, yeah. There are 3 now?
Do we have any of them?
No,
Oh, okay.
we don't. This is the base game.
Yeah, I didn't know if we... that's good to know.
And then there's a mini expansion called Joking Hazard, which is only like 10 cards.
Oh, boy.
But then there are 3 like bigger ones.
So I'm guessing Joking Hazard's all like drug stuff.
Oh, well, we do have an expansion that came with Trial by Trolley.
Oh, it's
we
true.
got 20 cards from that.
Yeah. Yeah, PJ was on the Kickstarter for Trial by Trolley. He studiously watched all the little video cartoons and whatnot, and so he's very proud of his Trial by Trolley. So when we discussed that game, we were discussing all the cool little hobnobby stuff that goes with it that others might not have, like Laura and Ray.
True story.
Yep.
I didn't realize that not everyone has, they don't have trolleys. We have the trolleys, we
Yeah.
have the little people.
Like
and we-
at Target, the box is this big for Trial by Trolley.
Yes.
Really? It's
Yeah.
that tiny?
Oh,
Wow.
small.
It's just the cards, nothing else, none of the extra stuff.
Not even the board?
Is there a
is
board?
a
There is a board?
But it would fold down to fit
Yes.
inside a small box, yeah.
It's a small board and cards. And then PJ very nicely used his 3D printer to make us our own little red trolley. But it does not come with it normally. So yeah, Trial by Trolley.
Let's move into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yes, there's a smiley face looking at me.
Shanna's favorite
so-
thing.
I think it's cute. I don't care who you are.
I love their artwork.
Yeah,
And-
Cyanide and
cute.
Happiness has the best artwork. So Trial by Trolley, very similar in that feel for the cards, I would say. But I do like the concept. So I'll let PJ explain the concept because that is all you.
So there's a famous thought experiment where your best friend, there's a trolley going down the tracks, and the track splits. On one side of the split is your best friend. On the other side is your family. What side do you send? You are standing at the lever. What side do you send the trolley down?
Because it won't stop, right? That's the idea. So it's not
it's a
gonna stop.
runaway trolley. So that's what this game is based on. Except instead of, knowing exactly what's going to be on the tracks, you play cards down of 2 good things that are on your track that, the judge doesn't want to kill, but then you get to sabotage the other person's track by putting a guilty card on their side. And so making the judge want to go over there. And then, you get to debate your
And you get a
your
modifier
cause.
too.
Yeah, you have modifier cards as well. So if someone puts something bad on your track, you can be like, well, yeah, but, and, try to modify it a bit. And so you get to debate and, have some rebuttals back and forth and things like that. And then the judge chooses what direction the trolley is going to go. And once everyone is the judge one time, then you count up how many death tokens you get based on if you lose, and if the judge picks your track to go down, you get death tokens. Whoever has the most death tokens at the end is the loser. Whoever has the least is the winner. And that's the game in a nutshell. It's a simple game. It's just a funny as heck game because
Oh, it's so hard to be a judge. It's so hard to be a judge. Yeah. But, the thing that I like about it, and one of the things that came up for Joking Hazard, is this idea of lack of creativity. Where here, that's sort of not an issue because you can argue points and
Yes.
you can ask questions. One of the guilty cards that I put down on the opposite side is I was asking, well, if you put down a guilty card, is that killing the thing totally forever? And the answer is yes, it's totally gone. And I'm like, well, then Satan is going on the opposite side. Don't you want to kill Satan? You want to choose that side or whatever. And, it's like, okay, sure, you're also killing, I forget what it was,
Here's a grandma.
a grandma and, kids at Disneyland or something.
Betty White.
Right,
Betty White's
it
on
could be
here
anything,
somewhere,
yeah. But on the opposite side, you've got, your family and,
Whatever else,
yeah, all of these other
Yourself.
things.
Check out
Yeah,
yourself.
you.
Yeah.
Well, and if you play it correctly, again, in terms of how many cards there are versus just the number of rounds you play, there are infinite different
Yes.
solutions you can make because we barely touch the cards,
Yes. Especially when you play to the judge.
Yep.
If the card is Santa Claus, not everybody maybe will care if they're running Santa Claus over
I
with a
care.
trolley.
Santa Claus.
You
is real.
know?
Yeah.
But, maybe if it's every vineyard owner in the world, it's I'm never going to choose that side of the track myself,
Save the
sorry,
wine.
Santa, bye-bye.
Yeah, play to the judge.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we had Putin turn into the world's cutest dog for you.
it's true. The modifiers are important.
Yep.
Yes.
We had the modifier chosen before any other card. We
That
didn't care. Like, we
card-
knew that was going to be the card.
That card took some different meanings on, though, in the past year, that's for sure.
Ooh.
That card didn't mean quite as much as it does now.
You mean the Putin one?
The Putin one.
Yeah. It's funny how that evolves. It's true.
Well, and the Betty White one, she wasn't dead
Yeah.
last time we played this. And I don't want to play a Betty White card ever again. Betty White.
Well, that's something else is, like, you need to know your current events and cultural trivia for this game. Because there's one, I still don't even know her name that well. Malala?
Mulala.
Mulala. Like, she's a human rights activist in India. I didn't know that until I looked her up, because I'm like, who the heck is this person?
There's a whole
And she's a
novel she
teenager.
wrote.
She's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
She got shot in the head.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
she
this.
survived
This is all
that.
new to me.
Wow, read I Am Malala. It's a novel. It's an autobiography.
Didn't know she wrote a book.
Okay.
Till just this
See,
moment.
I'm honestly in your camp, BJ. Like, I've heard the name, but I couldn't have told people about what it is.
So
or
yeah,
who
playing
she
that
is.
card would be useless, to
Yeah.
PJ.
Yeah.
He wouldn't care. Like, yeah, run her over.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mulan.
Or even one like
Mulan.
because we have the Kickstarter version of this game. One of them is like the people in charge of your Kickstarter order is like one of the one of the cards. Like, I'm literally the only person at this table who would even remotely care about that, and even that, like, it's not a good card. Like, there are better cards out there. So like some of these cards are
Right.
just not good. You know, like there's one of the guilty cards, which is like a card you want to sabotage the other person's rails with, and it's a dragon and his horde, and it's like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna kill a dragon. That's awesome.
Yep.
So
No, you kill it and you take its horde.
But still, I'd rather have the living dragon. with
Exactly.
the
Dragon's
sword.
cool.
Yes.
What I really liked about this game is the first time I played it, and sometimes, like, I find, like, board games and card games can be kind of stressful at times, especially when you're first starting to learn them. So this was so easy to, like, pick up and learn. And I also liked that there was teams, that I was able to, like, talk with different people, and
Yeah.
the team switched up, so that was fun. So you weren't just
Yeah.
working with one person. So it was nice being able to get the feel of the game with a partner. So that was really cool.
I hate this game.
Tell us how you really feel.
I rock Joking Hazard. I suck at Trial by Trolley.
I suck at both, but they're both fun. So
The artwork is fantastic for both because I appreciate the artist for Cyanide and Happiness, but I'm horrible at Trial by Trolley. Horrible.
My party game of choice when it comes to games with judges is Snake Oil. That's still my favorite. We'll talk about that.
I'm
another
also
day.
terrible at Snake Oil.
I love that game. I can literally like just take two cards at random. I know because I've done it when I teach the game, and like just turn those two cards into something to sell. It's usually not like anything great, but it's still something. You
Well,
know?
I always
You
think
can-
of like Matt with that when he made Moon Sweat for a ninja. And I remember like being really proud of like what I had made, and I look at him and he starts. You can tell that he just threw two things together and just went with it. And I knew that Jack was going to choose Matt's cards, and I just got so angry because I worked so hard. That's why I hate Snake Oil. I'm terrible at it.
well, even I think PJ and I were on team for Trial
Trial by
by
Trolley.
Trolley, and we were so excited about ours. And then we started listening to, I think it was
Ray and me, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just like, yeah, no, that was
No,
it.
we're done.
We're done. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, as soon as we had that card for the cutest dog, I'm like, Ray, doesn't matter what we play. We got this. Whatever they throw at us, we got this.
There is something about like, and that's where the creativity comes into play. And I think that that's what maybe for me sets Trial by Trolley above Joking Hazard is the being able to kind of talk it through and make your case.
See, I'm terrible
Yeah,
at that.
because even if you have bad cards, you can
Right.
argue them into
Yes.
good cards.
Yes.
I'm terrible at that.
Which is why I'm good at Snake Oil.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah,
As
I'm
an
not good at
English
debating
teacher,
either.
I'm terrible at that. I don't teach persuasion anymore. I gave up on that. I
So,
teach it, I guess. I just
Should
don't.
we go around the table and do like, like the kind of maybe three things, like Joking Hazard, yay or nay, Trial by Trolley, yay or nay, and then which of them do you prefer?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
All right. So, Joking Hazard, Ray, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay.
Oh,
Shanna?
yay.
Huh?
Yay.
Yeah.
And it's a yay for me. So Joking Hazard is a solid yay.
Because, like, most of us actually have this in our... Well, obviously, you two have it in your
We have,
home.
yeah.
We have
own
it also,
Yep.
so...
All right,
Yeah.
so then
Majority
Trial by
rules.
Trolley, yay or nay?
Yay.
I'll give it a yay.
Yeah?
Yay.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
Okay, so it's unanimous. But now here's the clincher, I guess. Which would you choose to play again? Like, what's your first choice? Trial by Trolley or Joking Hazard?
Joking Hazard for me,
Really?
actually. I
Okay.
think it's
Same
just
here,
easier.
Joking Hazard.
Yeah.
It's
Hazard.
easier, as Ray said. It's easier.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're introducing folks to something like new and it's a social thing, so it's easy for people to kind of catch up,
Yep.
you know?
It's not the moral dilemma.
But yeah, and I don't feel like there's as much like competition. It's just fun, you know. Sure, you're collecting cards and it's fun to collect cards, but there's no stress because you can keep going and just giggle over it and whatever.
Okay. BJ?
Joking Hazard.
I'm the only Trial by
You
Trolley
are.
person. That's my favorite. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you, actually, Shanna. The whole, that there's not this moral responsibility so much to be a judge. Like, when you're choosing Trial by Trolley, you're, like, kind of figuratively, literally, sentencing, like, a track full of,
Like, folks
whatever
to
to
death.
die.
I mean,
Yeah, like, it's a
I
moral
saved
thing.
Satan to save a grandmother who fed me more food.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's that moral issue there.
Yeah, you do. You have this weird, like, guilt at the end of it. You're like, oh, dang. But it's very intriguing to me, and I think that's what I enjoy about it. But I agree with you. I think the Joking Hazard is lighter. And
It's okay. Satan had a crush on me, according to modifiers.
Hence
He was
the
madly
modifiers.
in love
Oh, sorry.
with you.
Yes.
That's right. Madly in love with me.
Yes. See, I don't know if I would have perceived that as a good thing, but that's where the modifiers, it's personal.
I was more focused on grandma. But
Very cool. No, but it was a fun night. Lots of good stuff.
It was. I love these games. There's just a lot of fun. And just laid back, good time kind of things.
to leave happy, leave smiling.
Yes.
Yep. And more to come. Lots of party games.
Oh,
You have
absolutely.
plenty of party
So many
games.
party games. Have you seen my basement?
Ashley, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
So next time the four of us will be together for Games Overboard will be for Clank. Because I know we played once and we had a good time with it. Mm-hmm. I have Clank Legacy up there that I really want to play. So that's what I would like to do at some point.
Thanksgiving. Lots of time.
Thanksgiving.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Okay.
They'll also be with us next time on Well House Exorcism.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm thinking the Annabelle doll. I don't think she purrs.
That was just me.
That's Danger and Dice, DD purse. So, thank you for listening to our podcast listeners out there. Please make sure to listen to us on our other podcasts.
We have Danger and Dice, a live play Dungeons and Dragons game, where we get into all kinds of crazy mischief. And we have the Well House Exorcism, where we talk about our haunted houses and pass judgment on other famous hauntings on whether or not we believe them.
See us on Facebook, like us, and share us. Send us an email.
Visit us at gamesoverboard.com and email us at gamesoverboard@gmail.com.